Hello, everybody, everyone who is watching and listening. My name is Hala Hamza, and I am a Palestinian who lives in the West Bank, and I work at the company Arif for Investment and Agricultural Marketing that is owned by the NGO PARC, Palestinian Agricultural Relief Committee. And in this presentation, I will tell you about our fundraising campaign in the Gaza Strip, considering the genocide for the past 2 years. And I will tell you a little bit about the situation in the West Bank and the Gaza Strip and the activities of PARC in the Gaza Strip. I will start with the general situation in the West Bank that we are currently living through. The situation has been getting dramatically different in the past 3 years, I would say, and especially in the past 2 years when the genocide in the Gaza Strip started. Because whenever there's any security event, the Israeli occupation has to uh, do something that's like select all, let's say, because when there was these attacks in the Gaza Strip, they spread everything here in the West Bank, and they started increasing the restrictions and the security conditions here. So what happened is that the number of military checkpoints on the roads increased, the number of attacks increased every day by the Israeli army and also by the Israeli settlers. We have been starting to notice that everything is getting more risky. The security situation is getting bad. It's getting bad more every day. And this is due to the Israeli policies and the decisions of the Israeli government that wants to make life much worse for Palestinians. More people are getting killed and injured every single day, and this is because these are the new policies that they want to implement because they are doing this as a form of collective punishment. They don't want to only punish the Palestinians in the Gaza Strip. They're also doing this in the West Bank and also the nearby countries like we see in Lebanon and Syria and Yemen. And this is their policy of just violence. This is everything that they do. And besides this, they are increasing the settler colonialism and confiscating more land here. So this leads to more attacks, more injured people, and more risk as we try to live our daily life. These increased attacks include many different things. They are targeting the refugee camps in the northern West Bank. These are the camps where people who were even previously displaced from historic Palestine and have been living there in fragile situation and poor infrastructure. So these people are targeted all the time. More than 40,000 people were displaced from the North and West Bank. And as you see in these pictures, the infrastructure is very poor and it gets targeted and destroyed by the Israeli occupation forces all the time. And these attacks are also in parallel with daily invasions of the areas here. Now you can walk if you're walking in downtown, let's say in Ramallah or Nablus or any city. The Israeli forces would suddenly invade the area and they throw gas canisters or stun grenades and they shoot live ammunition or rubber bullets and uh, people are always targeted all the time. People don't feel safe anymore. There was never safety in Palestine, but it keeps getting worse. And besides the attacks of the Israeli army, there are many settler attacks. These Israeli settlers who live in the illegal settlements around the West Bank, they are encouraged to attack people, especially farmers, olive farmers, during the current season. They attack our property, they attack people, they kill people, they are armed, they are encouraged by their government to do this. So they make everything much more risky and threatening for us here. And after talking about the West Bank, you feel like the situation is already bad. What can be worse? The situation is in the Gaza Strip, is much worse. It's something that we cannot even imagine here. But we are always following up with the people in the Gaza Strip, and we realize that their situation is extremely difficult. Even after the ceasefire agreement, that is, to be honest, no longer a ceasefire agreement, because there's still an urgent need for housing, for food. People are still living in a humanitarian catastrophe because the bombing is still continuous. Since the ceasefire was announced, more than 360 people were killed. There are nearly 1,000 injuries since the ceasefire was announced. So the situation is still it's very difficult. Now, the Israeli occupation is trying to promote the idea that the Gaza Strip now has achieved peace, but there's no peace at all. There's still a catastrophe and crisis that people are still living through. The Israeli occupation keeps violating the ceasefire agreement by continuous bombing, and it keeps increasing every day. And people are still displaced on the streets, living in very horrible conditions with the lack of food, and they still need urgent support because especially with the winter coming in the Gaza Strip, the situation has been very difficult with the floods and the raining and the strong winds that are tearing down the tents and everything. And their situation is unimaginable. So that's why it's very important for everyone outside the Gaza Strip who can support to donate to spread awareness as much as they can about this urgent need in the middle of this genocide. We owe it to the people of Gaza. And because of this situation in the past 2 years, we launched this fundraising campaign, Building Hope for Gaza, that a lot of you might know about. This campaign has been ongoing since the genocide started in October 2023, and we have been very thankful for the great support that we have been receiving from so many partners around the world, and especially APF and ATJ in Japan. Their support is actually the biggest that we have ever received. And if it wasn't for their support, we wouldn't be able to do all of this, to be honest. And we managed to send the first shipment last year. We sent food products from the West Bank, and we managed to do it after so many difficulties. We faced difficulties mainly in the local situation here in the West Bank because it's difficult to move around with the military checkpoints and the daily invasions of the Israeli forces and the attacks of the settlers. But we managed to do everything related to purchasing the products and supporting the farmers here. And then we faced the issue of logistics and trying to cross the borders to the Gaza Strip because they are mostly closed all the time. The situation is very unpredictable. The borders between the West Bank and Gaza were closed for a very long time, so we had to do something different, which is to send the aid to Jordan, and then from Jordan through the Israeli occupation to the Gaza Strip. But we're not even sure if we can do this idea again with the future shipments. For the whole campaign, we managed to collect 936,000 shekels. This is these are the amounts that we collected through this campaign. And we used a part of these funds for the first shipment, and we still have plans for another shipment that we want to do. And if it's not a shipment, of course, we will do another plan. We have a plan that we are actually discussing with PARC right now, we want to use the funds that we have been collecting to purchase things inside the Gaza Strip because it will be difficult to send something from the West Bank to the Gaza Strip. So we want to transfer these funds to PARC, and we would sign an agreement with them that they would use the money to purchase all the necessary aid and distribute it there through their staff and workers inside the Gaza Strip. And they would be responsible for everything in addition to reporting and ensuring that everything goes well with this campaign. So the type of cooperation that we will have with them is that we will send them the budget for this second project, let's say, for this campaign, and they will deal with it based on what they know that needs to be done. And for now, our suggestion that we will definitely go by this time, we will send or we will purchase warm blankets inside the Gaza Strip. We will buy 3 blankets for each family, and each blanket will be 200 shekels, and the number of beneficiaries would be around 1,650 people in the Gaza Strip. And we will also buy large sheets, and I will show you a picture of both of these. These are the blankets that we use in winter, that all Palestinian houses use. They're very warm and they're big, and there will be 3 for each family. And these are the tarpaulins, these very large sheets that are used in building tents and in protecting houses from rain and heavy wind. And we will purchase three of these for each family. And the number of beneficiaries of these tarpaulins would be 1,800 people. And we will use all the remaining funds to buy these products. And if we manage to collect more funds, of course, we will either buy more of these or add a new item, maybe distributing water or maybe clothes or anything that we can do with any additional funds. Now our remaining budget is I think maybe around 200,000 US dollars. And of course, because this project will be in cooperation with PARC, you would have to know about the situation of PARC in the Gaza Strip. Throughout the whole genocide in the past 2 years, PARC has been maintaining a decisive and multi-sectoral humanitarian presence in the Gaza Strip. They have been ensuring that the critical needs of the people are met. They have been working on many levels to ensure that their projects are still continuous, despite all the difficulties that they have been facing and the destruction of their branch that happened last year. The whole building of PARC was destroyed in an Israeli airstrike, and many of the people were affected. They're displaced, living in tents and on the streets. But despite these general conditions, PARC ensured us that they are always doing their best to make sure that all their activities are still continuous. And in general, the activities of PARC include many different things, such as food security, providing shelter for people, distributing water, site management, and also supporting any initiatives that need to be done, supporting any agricultural projects that farmers want to do. So they are working on many different levels to ensure that everything is going well despite their very difficult situation. And with this, with all these funds that they collect, they are distributing many different items, like I mentioned. And here you can see some of the numbers. They call them benefit cases, and each case is a box that contains many different products For example, the food security boxes, they include foods that each family needs very urgently. The non-food items include hygiene products, soap, and anything that the families would need in keeping their hygiene. And of course, they distribute water as well. So this is the type of interventions that PARC have been doing in the Gaza Strip. And this is a bit different from what they used to do throughout the years because they used to focus more on agricultural projects. But now with the change in the situation, they have been shifting their focus a little bit just to aid the displaced people and to consider the scarcity of the basic life necessities in the Gaza Strip. And we are so thankful that we are doing this type of cooperation with them because this will make everything easier for us because they have a branch in the Gaza Strip, but Arif doesn't. We don't have a branch there. So it will be easier for us to cooperate with them and they can be responsible for purchasing these products that I mentioned and distributing them among the people in need. And we want to make sure that this type of project is still ongoing because the Gaza Strip will continue to need anything. They will need food, housing, shelter, security, water, hygiene products. They will keep needing these things for so many, I would say, so many years to come. So we want to make sure that this project and fundraising campaign is ongoing. We we are always open to receive more funds, and because we cannot really do anything without the funds. If we don't have funds, we wouldn't be able to conduct any of these projects, especially that we have experience in the Gaza Strip. We have been working in these projects even before the genocide. We used to send food items all the time and food aid, such as olive oil and these necessary products. We used to send them before the genocide, and now after the genocide, we are planning to send more things that people still need. So what I want to say is that this fundraising campaign will be continuous all the time because the needs will still be there in the years to come. And I really want to thank everybody who's contributing to this project because without you, we wouldn't really be able to do any of all of this. And the work that you do is very, very important, and we greatly appreciate the effort of every single person who's working on this, including the organizations who make sure that this happens, APF, APLA, ETJ. We are so thankful for everybody, and we are really proud of this cooperation that we have because it is built on fair trade principles, people-to-people trade, and transparency, friendship, and trust. This type of partnership is very important for us, and it is what pushes us forward in Palestine under these conditions that I told you about. So thank you very much, and thank you for listening.